welcome to episode 10 of our Swavey Podcast. My name is Marlena.
What's going on? I'm RJ.
And today we are with our friend Jeezz, who is a chef here in Pittsburgh. So today we're going to be talking to him a little bit about how he got started with cooking, what he's currently been up to, and what he has planned for 2022, because again, the new year is in 2 days. And then again, we're going to talk about some of the things that we have planned coming up, and of course in 2022. So stay tuned. He's going to be cooking for us. We're going to be eating shrimp and grits, which is super exciting. I'm really excited. Never had it before, so should be good. So make sure you stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. So we are back again with episode 10 of our Swavey Podcast. So today, James made us shrimp and grits. So we're going to have him explain the dish a little bit to us, and then we're going to try it and ask him a little questions here and there and go from there.
You're going to put me on the spot. All right, so today I have served you guys not so classic shrimp and grits. That's actually what I'm going to call it, a not so classic shrimp and grits. So instead of it being like a Cajun style shrimp and grits, the grits have caramelized onions and mushrooms in them. And I made a Cajun tomato, like a Cajun roasted tomato.
Which is fire.
And the shrimp is my own all-purpose seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Not too spicy, not too
light.
Yeah, not too light, not too spicy, not too anything.
Yeah, looks fantastic.
So yeah.
This one more good as cookies. We're gonna see what's better. The cookies, I don't know, I think it's gonna be way better. I never had shrimp and grits, so
that shit blew my mind.
but my mom has made some, mom, if you're watching.
And brew.
Ooh. Do I dip it all in the grits first?
You eat it however you like it.
The grits are good.
For grits for you, is it like a texture or is it like?
No, it's a taste.
Okay.
I don't know the texture. It's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lit.
Not Cajun-y at all, not spicy.
I don't know where I was at. If I was with your grandma, who it was, but somebody was telling me about shrimp and grits. Or maybe I heard it first and then I went to.
Grandma.
Yeah, I think it was before. But then I went and talking to your grandma. She was like, "You ain't never had shrimp and grits?" I was like, "Huh."
That shit blew my mind.
Okay, so what you're eating, I don't want to ask what you're eating, but how did you, I'm sure this is a really hard question, but how did you get into cooking? Like, what was it that made you want to cook as much as you do cook? Or like, was it a show growing up? Or like, what got you started into the cooking industry? I know it's a loaded question.
No, it's a good question though. So, take another bite. You know what I'm saying? And say, So, I think it's like a combination of all those things because I always remember watching the Food Channel. I always remember like watching my mom cook. I always remember my grandma making dishes that just wasn't like soul food. She was always making like chicken cacciatore or lasagna or fucking pineapple shrimp or I'm like just always something different. You know what I mean? Like, when people came over, you wasn't leaving my house unless you ate something. Like, then
Old school way.
yeah, like you just then I don't know. Even my friends' families, I just remember like all my friends had like big families, so like they always had like 3, 4 brothers, sisters, you know what I mean? And they eat dinner together type shit and they talk about their day. I'm like, this is not weird, but I like this. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I go to their house for dinner. Then I'm in high school, home ec, did not like it at all.
Really?
Hated it.
I didn't like home ec dinner.
Hated it. Worked in a restaurant. I like serving. I like being a host. The cooks used to be like, "You gonna get you back here?" I'm like, "Shit, no way, bro. No fucking way." Next thing I know, fucking, I'm in school for culinary, chasing some chick. But originally, I was coming to be an electrician. That's how I got to Pittsburgh. Moved from Jersey, dropped everything.
Electrician.
I heard electricians make bread.
So you went from an electrician to
I
cooking.
didn't even get into the electrician world, bro. I was a salesman. I did everything from auditions for Broadway to like high school plays and movies to like taking up piano lessons and playing the guitar, like music, and then I've been in a choir since I was in like 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
Then cooking was really like not on the list, bro. Not on the list at all. I was just trying to make money at this point. So I was in school for communications, and I was working at T-Mobile. So
T-Mobile, I feel like me, you, and John has worked at T-Mobile.
bro, T-Mobile was like the spot too, because T-Mobile was paying in college, bro. And I didn't like finish. I was going to school and like working. So
that up.
I was going to school and working. Wound up coming to Pittsburgh. The electrician course was like full, so I had 2 options. I had 3 options. I either had to wait for it to open up, I could have left, or pick another trade. So I just picked another trade, and that was it.
And it was cooking.
One day we was making, I think it was like ratatouille or like gumbo, or it was a
You made Ratatouille before?
Yeah.
No, that's my thing. Because I like Ratatouille, the movie. That's like one of my favorite movies. I go home and watch it at night.
You like the food?
But I never had the Ratatouille food.
But
I seen the movie, yo, and I was like, this little rat is got a good nose.
I seen the movie for the first time like maybe like a couple months ago.
Oh, really? You like it?
That's what everyone said. My boys like, are you even a fucking chef?
Did you like it?
I love it, bro. That shit made me cry.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Bro, it made me cry, bro. It made me like think about like how chefs are and school. Like, bro, this is a fucking amazing movie. Absolutely amazing. But anyway.
So you picked cooking.
Yeah, I just picked cooking.
And then it just kind of went from there.
Yeah, and like one day we was in class. He was tasting everybody's like finished product.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to mine. He was like, this is the. He was like.
Oh, really?
That's good.
Oh, wow.
That's good. Who made this? It's like me. He was like, that's good. Threw the spoon. Then I just looked at him. I was just, fire. And then ever since then, bro, I don't know. I think I'm searching for that reaction every time I cook.
Well, yeah.
Like every time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost like, I don't know. It's almost like,
if you don't get that reaction, it's not as satisfying.
yeah, it does nothing for me.
It's like, for me, is like with the music, when I'm in the studio and I look through the glass and I can see like Joey just like
you know, either bobbing his head, but you know, like when you hear something like real fire, and you get that mouthpiece, like
they got vibing a certain way.
It's just like you get that like something just, you know, something like just smells in the room. You know, when I see their face and they just, cause I be seeing people
really good.
and they be bobbing their head, but then they get the weird face. Where they just scrunch up, I'm like, oh, that was fire. They knew that, like, you know, when you hear somebody say something, like, oh, that was nasty. That's the kind of the reaction I be looking for when people listen to my music. So
My next question is, what is the most challenging thing you experience when you're cooking? Whether it's for yourself at home or whether for like a private dinner or a group of people or even the meal preps. Like, what is the most common challenging thing that you experience?
Staying with like technique.
Mm-hmm.
So like you basically gotta, for me, I guess watching my mom cook and watching everybody cook, you kinda gotta like unlearn what they did.
right.
Because now, instead of like when I went to like school, it wasn't about cooking. It was more about like the whys and hows you do things, and this is why it has to be this temperature. It was always an explanation for everything. So it's like, now it's like, so when you go out in the fucking world or whatever, you ask a chef like, oh, why, like, he's bitching about this one thing, but now you ask why, he has an explanation for it. If he doesn't have an explanation for it, then you figure it the fuck out. Like, you have free reign to fucking figure it out on your own.
Uh-huh.
But if you ask him, like for me, like when you're heating something up, you got to get it to 165 first, and then put it in the hot well.
Okay.
So like when people are like trying to heat up their mashed potatoes or whatever, and they just have it in a well and it's cold, and they're trying to like use the well as something to heat it up.
Yeah.
That shit makes me so mad, because it's basically setting like you know how people like will go to a restaurant and ask for like a glass of hot water and put the silverware in there because they think it's killing the bacteria.
Yeah.
It's literally not hot enough to kill the bacteria. It's only hot enough to literally like make super bacteria.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it.
Well, yeah, water has to be boiling for, like he said, a certain temperature for it to
I
do
didn't know
that.
that.
So
I just wait till it
necessarily
gets hot and I start seeing the bubbles.
So anything between 41 degrees and under 140 is like called like the danger zone.
Okay.
So like if food, like when you're transporting food, you got to figure out a way to keep it below that or hot as possible. Because if not, it's just sitting in that fucking that's basically how mold creates. You get that moist heat, and then the moist heat becomes kind of dry, but the moisture isn't evaporating anywhere. It's just sitting in there. So then it's just sitting. You get mildewy and mold.
See, I
and
didn't
that's
know
how yeah, bro. It's fucking. So now it's like when you see shit in a restaurant, it's like, oh, don't do that. And they're like, why? And now you can tell them why. So it's not necessarily about cooking or whatever. I mean, you learn how to like build flavors and shit, but
yeah. So
that's the most challenging.
Last question is: the New Year is 2 days away. What are your plans for 2022, or what would you like to see happening for yourself and your business? Loaded question.
Nah, it's crazy because I just didn't. New Year's is 2 days away.
2 days.
That was fast.
Yeah, this year flew by.
Shit was full of surprises.
Yeah.
Cool momentum though going into 2022.
You know what? I want to see. So I recently just did like a catering event for the Duquesne Elementary School district area,
Nice.
and I never worked with kids before.
Do you like it?
Bruh, I would do that shit every day if I could.
Really?
I want to be like a cookie teacher after that, bro. The
Wait,
kids, bro, the kids are like.
They probably loved it.
This one kid, right? My favorite dude, bro. I forget his name, but bro, if I ever see him again, bro, that's my man, bro. He walked in, he was like, "Yo, it smells so good in here." His facial expressions was like,
Oh my
"It
god.
smells so good in here, right?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Yeah, like."
What'd you make for them?
Yeah, I just made like it was like a kid friendly menu. It was I made like chicken fingers, but like, so like I broke down chicken and like gave them the good parts of the chicken, the tender pieces.
Yeah.
Then I marinated them. So like, they ain't getting no chicken like that nowhere.
No.
I took
Not
time.
in the cafeteria.
Nah, hell.
Heck no.
Not in the cafeteria, not.
And then I made mac and cheese. I made them a brown sugar and bourbon like glazed like roasted carrots and like a jerk style like broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that was amazing.
They crushed everything.
It was fire.
Everything.
That's good.
They crushed everything.
I feel like kids are a hard audience because like
I was
a
nervous.
lot. The crazy thing is that kids are not used, depending on how you're raised. Certain kids aren't used to the flavors, but like also real food
Mm-hmm.
and it being cooked properly. Like a lot of us
Shit in
ate
the
the
box.
processed stuff. So to them, they're probably like, "Oh my gosh, I've never had this before." The taste of it, the texture, the spices,
I
all
love
of
when they
that.
say they don't like something.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know what you like.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Now I understand when my dad be talking. You don't know what you like.
Right.
I'm like, I'm thirsty.
I swear, I remember my dad telling me that too.
I want
Listen,
shrimp.
I got a few questions for you. Did we talk about where you was from?
I
I don't
mean,
think we did.
I'm from New Jersey.
What part of New Jersey?
From Woodbridge, New Jersey. Well, I'm from all over the place. I was born in Orange, but my dad lives in Woodbridge, New
Like
Jersey.
the transition for me, it was kind of like it was different from where I'm from and moving to Pittsburgh. What's like the transition from going to that very fast pace and then coming to Pittsburgh? What do you think it
Keeping
was?
that fast pace.
Yeah.
People move too slow out here. It's
Uh,
like, I don't know. You either gotta motivate them or just do your own thing.
Cause a lot of people thought that I was gonna start pronouncing my words like Pittsburgh and start saying yens.
Yeah, I don't. The waitress comes up to me and she goes, "Can I get Yins something to drink or something?" I looked at her, I was like, "Excuse me?" I almost felt offended, but I knew I heard something before y'all, and I was like, "What the fuck you say?" And then
We don't say that.
yeah, I was like, "What are you talking about?"
It's definitely different. Like I feel like every city has a certain twang to how they talk. Like he
100%.
has a twang to how he talks.
Where you from?
Originally from Williamsport, PA. Lived in Jersey. My parents, my dad's family is from Jersey.
What part of Jersey?
North or Trenton, Jersey.
That's like something.
Yeah, I lived in Jersey for a while too. Always been as far as like, because where I'm from, it's like a little small city, but everybody where I was from in Williamsport was Philly, New York, or Jersey, and like how Pittsburgh, but like Williamsport was like a little small city where everybody commuted from Philly, New York, everybody came to Williamsport, but it Jersey was only a couple hours away, Philly was only a couple hours away, Pittsburgh was like out the way
It
for us.
really is out the way. Bro.
But like coming to Pittsburgh for me, like everything was different. Like I grew up, around like Jersey, New York, Philly, and I never grew up around Pittsburgh. I seen it because I used to love Batman movies.
It's kind of like half. I didn't even know Batman was even shot in the fucking stadium. Like,
Yeah.
But like, it's more like half South, half Midwest.
Uh-huh.
Like, so it's kind of like you don't know what the.
You got West Virginia right around the corner.
West Virginia and Ohio's right there, so it's like.
Now, how do you feel about like and this is like one of my a good question for you is as far as culture wise, because like in like in Jersey and in other cities, you got like the poppy places and it's more culture, Spanish people, Dominican people, black people, coming to Pittsburgh,
It's not enough. Not for me, at least.
There's for me there's not enough culture places at all.
There's not enough at all.
Like,
I don't see it. I don't feel like it's.
It's
In the
unfortunate because you
air.
have to like go to certain places to experience it,
I
and
feel like I haven't been.
a lot
to
of
those
bigger
places.
cities like Atlanta, for instance, or even Charlotte, like you're gonna have a wide variety without even having to go to a certain location of that city.
They're just there.
Yeah.
Just there. That's why I want to buy back the block.
Buy back the block.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I love that phrase.
what's like a now your slogan is what again?
So where love lives.
And what's like the purpose behind that?
Bro, just like, bro, I think as long as I can remember anything about food, it's always been like a giving thing, like a loving thing, like
people put
put your foot in it, like those phrases, like those phrases mean like I really took my time to serve you. You know what I mean? Like not even just serve you, like I'm making sure you get proper nutrition. You know what I mean? Like you can go deep as you want, but I think it's more the gesture of like love. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to tell you I love you. I don't have to look at you a certain way. I can just literally just
show you.
Be in the kitchen all day and have a slow cooking process because it just takes time. And I feel like when you give something your time and your energy, you can't like people can't not feel that.
I feel like that's also an old school mentality because my nana would say like, I cook with love. Like when we'd come over as kids, are you hungry? Let me fix you something.
Yeah, like your friends ain't leaving the house if they don't eat.
Yeah,
like,
even my grandma. Help yourself to anything. You hungry? I'll make you something. Like
just don't go in my refrigerator.
I think it's an old school, mentality.
Like chefs
that not
don't
enough
credit.
Not only that, but I don't think enough chefs have that mindset. I think a lot of people look at it as a job and not where you look at it as a passion, a hobby.
So I've noticed two things. You either have chefs that are like the military kids, so they're like hate it every day. They hate it, but they love cooking. They just hate the job.
Right.
And then there's the other side where like the chef is like more of like the artist type person.
Cause you gotta be, cause I was talking about this earlier. Cause I got tapped in with another producer. And producers, just like videographers, don't get enough credit for the behind the scenes, and you gotta have a real passion for what you do, and I think that's why we connected, because I got a real passion, for fashion, but music most importantly, and you have a passion for cooking. And I posted something the other day on my Instagram, and it said, "Do what you love." And a lot of people they're 100% going 9 to 5s and miserable, and they're not doing what they love to do. They just say, hey, I need to pay rent, I need to pay car insurance, I need to pay the electric, I need to, whatever the case is. And I just chase the dollar. And society has conditioned us, from elementary school to high school to college, to our relationships, how our life is supposed to be, and what we're supposed to do and follow this way, and I just feel like you just have to be super passionate. And once you find something, I tell them all the time, once you find something that like, hey, it's clicks, I just love doing it, and that's what you need to stick to, because
that's the key, like,
because the devil will be out here like, hey, you know what, you love doing this, but you need a paycheck, so you need to do this, and the third, and to have it scattered.
That's like the key, like, not phrase, but like you said it, like once you find, that's
find that it factor.
Yeah, like once you find it, like that's the problem with like society. Like
a new hobby or trying something new is fearful, not only because you don't know if you're going to fail or not, but because you have the voices, whether it's your friends, your spouse, your family, or even just the public.
Yeah,
right, social media, whoever. You have people telling you that you can't do it, or people that don't support you because they don't think you can do it, and it's very detrimental to someone who wants to try something new but doesn't know how to go about trying something new. Yeah. And like you said, that prevents a lot of people from just trying new things. And you tried cooking; it was the last resort, and look where you're at. You found out you have a passion for it.
Still feel that like that fear though. Like every time, I didn't know if this was gonna be good. I knew it was gonna be good, but like
if
I didn't fucking practice it to make sure it was good.
But that's the cool thing though, is that you knew it was good because you know your cooking's good. But you didn't know how we were gonna react because
that's the
but that's the culture and the rhythm,
But that's what makes it cool.
We just know, like we just cooking like it's gonna be right, like we just be throwing things.
Well, like you said, you had to develop a technique.
Yeah. So once you learn that, You can apply it to everything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what ingredients or anything.
But now the ingredients are just flavorings. It's just like different paint.
But you know that, especially what I've been reading, I read up on a lot of successful people like the Denzel Washingtons, the Will Smiths, the Dwayne Johnson.
Denzel Washington's
but
like
you,
motivational.
But you realize that
out.
Denzel Washington and Dwayne Johnson were two guys that didn't find.
The Rock, right?
Yeah, The Rock.
Okay.
Are two guys that didn't find something that they didn't even plan. Like Dwayne Johnson and Denzel Washington were never the go-to route to get into acting. Dwayne Johnson was working. He was playing football. God said that, hey, this ain't for you. And then he ended up in a skit, acting, and then boom, he takes off as the biggest actor in the world. Denzel Washington, same. If you read his story on how he got into acting, now he's one of the best actors in the world, but they didn't find it, until like later, and people feel like they need to, like, oh, you know what? I need to find something right now. Everybody's passionate about their things, and like you gotta really come to you and be patient, because once it does happen, you do find that it doesn't matter if I've tried out everything in the world and realized that music and the brand was always just something I was gonna be in. I tell the story all the time. Like I try to disappear from music, get into trading. And I go to I go to Miami, right? Like I'm trading. I'm a full-time trader. Pirates Academy and Miss Stocks, NFTs and stuff like that. And I'm end up in the Trump Tower on the 50th floor. In the next room, who is it? All I hear is beats.
In the next room,
booming. I'm in the middle of trading, journaling, writing up. I was with Nano, and I'm in there writing and stuff.
This is crazy because that's just like all right, finished. That was like the universe.
So I try to step back. We were down there, and I'm in the middle of trading. I'm like, all right, I gotta chase these numbers. I gotta get my money, because what if the music thing doesn't work out? I was like, I need a fallback plan. So I was like, all right, I'll get into trading. This is something I need to learn on. But I'm up there, right? All I hear is beats, and my mind is taking me out of into this beat world. Producer comes out of there, maybe in one of Toy Lane's co-producers or something like that.
Like in the same room?
Yeah.
Or like the next apartment over?
No, it was the same room.
Oh God.
It was in the room. We were in the condo, and in the room next door. Obviously one of the rooms in there. So and he comes out, and I was kind of like manifesting this whole thing. But a lot of things I kind of stray away from things, and then I'm right back in it. Like, oh, this person and this person. I'm like, well, this is what I was meant here to be here for,
A lot of people don't know how to
trust the process, and that's a lot of people. I was just telling him this the other day. A lot of people want instant gratification.
They also don't know how to pay attention,
right?
To just like, because I noticed like too, like even my friends, like when they pray for things too, but then that instant gratification, they don't get it, and the next day they're back to where they started.
When you ask God to give you patience, He's not going to magically give you patience.
Just
He's going to put you in a situation,
put you in the right place
patient.
at the right time, exactly. And you just gotta open up your eyes and be like.
But I feel like it took. Like you said the story about the baby. It took him 4 or 5 years to make it to where he is now.
Sure.
That wasn't instant gratification. That was 4 to 5 years. And I think that's the problem with our society, is that everyone is expecting it now. I want to be a millionaire now. I want my brand to take off now. I want this now. I want that now. Instead of just trusting the process and being okay with, like, you have to enjoy the process. You need to enjoy the struggles, the failures, your lessons that you're learning, all of that. Because once you get to the top, all of the things that you went through, all those failures, all those lessons brought you to...
You see what happens? I went through a lot of things. I went through a lot of pain. I went through a lot of struggles. And I've seen so many people fold because, they give them that instant gratification. And I'm just looking at it like, you know what? When I get it, like, I'm the real definition of like, coming from zero. I climbed out from zero. I don't know how it happened, like, I just stay consistent. And I feel like for all of us, as long as we continue to, we got that goal and we're tunnel vision, and all the distractions gonna come, the fake people and the bills and the struggles and all this stuff, and as long as you know like what you want at the end of the tunnel.
Be level headed.
You're gonna be 80 years old.
Because I honestly feel like there's not a blueprint, but there's a structure to like how life is supposed to go. Like, you go through some shit, to literally like kind of like make you okay with the next shit you're about to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
But it builds.
the first thing you did was get slapped in the face. Now it's like shit. Now it's like, all right, like kind of prepare me what getting hit feels like. You know what I mean? Now you might be in boxing or whatever. But it just prepares you for the next.
You have to enjoy the process. You know, really appreciate it, and even with our brand, we're going into 2 years, coming this April of next year, of being like official on our website, and it's been a process. It's been a process, but
I think we started a business around like the same time.
Yeah, but it's been a process, but in the end, all of the struggles and all of the errors and figuring things out, it's all going to make sense when Swavey is what we know it can be.
Yeah, because we just got hit with a rainstorm. Like one of my biggest fears just hit me with my brand. And it's something that I think we talked about before. I don't think we went into detail, but it's not something I'm gonna talk about on camera. But like, it's just something that it was a big rainstorm. Like, and she called me. But I realized
I was crying.
I
was
I'm
so upset.
Because you put all your work into this. I put everything into this. For like this to hit me. I was like, all right. I was like, but that ain't gonna stop me, because on my deathbed, like I'm gonna look back at all that things. Like, it was like, oh, you know what? Like that rainstorm hit me. I didn't crash. I didn't go. I was like, what I learned from somebody, shout out Nano for this, is that I asked them. I said, when you're at the top now, right? And when you're when you're like everything is going well, and then you get a retracement. What retracement means is that you lose everybody. Yeah. It's 40, 50 people. How did you get through that? And what he told me is that you have to keep the momentum, like it never happened. It's gonna hurt. So like even it hit me, I was like, and I'm more like,
what's that saying? You have to have a short memory.
Yeah, and I was hurt. But I was like, you know what?
You just can't.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't break us. It didn't, it now required. Oh yeah, now it required us to think outside the box, to really get to thinking and really come up with what we need to come up with, and handle it how we need to. But I love the food. Again, I've never had shrimp and grits, and it was fantastic.
That shit just blows my mind to me, but I'm happy.
One more question.
It was fantastic.
And then we'll wrap it up. My last question is, which is obviously the regular question, is what's the end goal?
Bro, I don't know. Like, I literally just see every time I think about the end goal, I think I just see myself with a small place. I don't want like a big ass restaurant or nothing. I don't want to feed more than 75 people at a time. I just want like a little space. You know what I mean?
You're in a restaurant?
Maybe a restaurant.
Would you ever be a personal chef?
That's what I do now.
But like full-time personal chef?
Like maybe like on a contract? No.
Yeah. No.
I couldn't do that.
No.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe a couple snacks here and there.
No.
Every day? No way. I would be like, bro, you gotta buy me a jet ski or some shit. You gotta make it worth it.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Build a condo next door.
Yeah, something.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I need to have my own bed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of these celebrities have...
They do.
That's when I start making these moves.
But that's my goal. I would like a personal chef, because I don't like to cook, and I like when food is cooked for me. So
I would cook y'all food, not every day.
No, not every day.
But
lobster mac and cheese on a weekly,
make it enough for a 3-day
monthly
span,
basis.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
On the third day, you're like, I don't want this shit.
I hate going to
no more.
I go to these restaurants. It's like me going to the stores. I don't know what they get. They're putting all types of stuff in my food.
Plus, you don't know if it's gonna be good or not. Like some restaurants are hit and miss.
Now they have the meal prep food that's already in the grocery stores. I'm like, it don't even taste good. I'm like, nah.
It just gotta be fresh.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you cooking for us. It was again really good.
For sure. I appreciate y'all. I want to congratulate y'all too for fucking pushing through all the whole fucking business thing too, because I've been through every emotion too, and I sat right there and just cried. I was like, yo, am I even doing this right? Like, what the
No,
fuck? But,
your
like,
food is really, and
okay.
this isn't the first dish I've had, but no, your food is really good, and
You just figure it out.
it's just, you know, you just gotta keep at it, and eventually, you know, all of our hard work will pay off.
We heard it from Captain Bud.
Swavey.
And that concludes episode 10 of our podcast. Make
10.
sure you guys stay tuned for, put your hands
You
down.
got 10?
For episode 11 coming up shortly. Hope everyone has a happy new year. Bring in 2022 with your friends, family, and your loved ones. Again, Shop Bud's Kitchen. We'll put his handles here so you guys can follow him. Again, shopswaveycb.com. We have a lot of new things coming for you guys. So stay Swavey, stay tuned, and
See you
we're
next
out.
time.
Oh, you also check out the website, budskitchen.com. 2 Ds.
We'll put the handle there for you guys.
Give it, Swavey. Love y'all.
Bye.